Hey guys, it's Avenger. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're looking at the controversial Embraer E-175 from Flightsim Studios. Now, this is the same developer that brought us through Aerosoft as well, the Sea Ray, which had two versions that I still don't quite understand. However, a little bit of information. The Embraer E-Jet family, they're the whole four-abreast narrow-body short to medium-range twin jets, made by the Brazilian company Embraer. Now, they were designed to complement the preceding ERJ family. They're competing in that regional market between 66 to 124 passengers, and it's the largest plane or series they've built to date. Now, it was first really talked about in 1997, and it first flew in 2002. It was first brought into commercial service as, I believe, the 17th of March 2004 with LOT in Poland. Now, this type is spread across the world. They're very, very common, and it does somewhat compete with the CRJ family and the former ERJ families and the general, commuter type airlines. Now, this is a 175. Will we see more from the series? Who knows? I'd like to see this finished first, would be the first part I think I'd like to say there. The 175 can seat between 78 to 88 in a single class, 76 in dual class. So 103 feet long, 85 feet wide. And this is the short wingtip version for the Alaskan Airlines, by the way. There's also the longer one. And it's powered, has a payload of 22,000 pounds, powered by two General Electric CF34-8 Echo engines, which lets her cruise at 430 knots, about Mach 0.75, for 2,200 miles. She could take off in 7,300 feet and land in 4,147. We're going to be challenged to do exactly that. So, why am I reviewing this? You're all saying, oh, it's and she... Not wrong YouTube channel. It's Avangel. I get mixed up sometimes myself. Avangel, why are you reviewing another jet? I kind of like this one. This is one of the types I do quite like. It's cute, it's small, it's like the Airbus A318. And if I were to fly a jet, it'd be likely one of these. Because it's kind of interesting and it fits my niche. You know, if I want to do that kind of thing. Now, the big elephant in the room is that this is early access. Something very new to the flight sim world. Very unfortunately common to anybody who owns Steam. Because that's most of the platform now. And what is early access? It means you buy into it early. You're buying a beta product, or in this case, kind of alpha product, where it's missing a lot of features. You get a basic bare bones thing. I'll compare this to Ready or Not, a game that came out as early access, a SWAT simulator. That game had a couple of maps, had a couple of weapons, and it has considerably expanded in graphic quality, modelling quality, more maps, more features, tweaks and changes over time. It's an evolution. Now, does this mean we'll ever see a completed Embraer E-175 from FSS? I don't know. Will it be a constant life cycle development? Who knows? But what it means is you pay €40, about that in pounds, about $47, for what is basically a default aircraft with some silicone tatas. Yeah. Is it going to be when it's done? No. They have grand ambitions for a very complex, detailed systems intensive airliner. Wonderful. Okay. Currently, the system's depth inside is basically stock, with some window dressing. Now, the 3D model, let's go take a look at that, in fact, because this is made by the renowned X-Plane developer, or guys who work with X-Plane, X-Craft. So let's see, we even get this little pop-up in the aircraft when we first load in. It's useful, at least it links you to where the documentation is on their website, which is relatively useful, I will give them that. So let's go outside here. Okay. Now, actually, one thing I want to do before we go outside first is go back inside the aircraft. You'll excuse me. Tablet. Currently only functions are settings with brightness and the ability to fly from the right seat. This I like. That is cool. That's actually a neat little feature. And obviously we have ground. So we can open our doors cargo. And I like the fact that it gets louder on the outside. That's a small thing, but a lot of developers miss it. Let's go back outside, shall we? Okay. So, what I see when I look at this aircraft from the outside is actually a really positive sign. This is a really nice 3D model. Like, this is well done. Like, I like it. It has a lot of detail. It has a lot of interest. Everything looks good. Look at this. That's nice. The engine actually looks pretty good. There's places you can skimp on an airliner because it's an airliner. They're pretty big. But this doesn't. Oh, we have a second stage of fans in here. Okay. Oh, God. They missed out the back of the engine. Cancel them quick. Okay. So, the cargo hold, apparently that front was not opened, but the back one has. What do we get in here? Small compartment, but I'll give them that. Locking mechanisms there. Rolling latching parts of the door. There's a lot of detail there. And again, this developer's been known for doing good things. So what do we have inside here? First I need to slow that down. Not that much. There we go. Now can we click any of this stuff? We cannot. Can I activate the door from here? I cannot. We have got a peeky window. We can spy on all the passengers from here. Useful feature. Oh, the kettle doesn't work. No, uninstalling. Okay, nothing clickable, but that's kind of expected. It's a galley. So, passenger compartment. What do we have? Appears to be the blinds do not function. Again, not expecting it to. It would be nice if they could. Lockers don't open. Do we get tray tables? No? Okay, that's fine. I will say this does actually look pretty nice. It's a very compact, small interior. But that works. This is how the actual aircraft is. Must say, well modelled and well detailed. I am experiencing a performance hit. Not a huge one, but I am getting one. I'm down to about 54 FPS from about 80, so it's hitting, but I can handle it on this machine because it's a potent computer. But if you have a computer that's borderline on FPS, this might be a lot for you. This is twin configuration, so the 76 seats with a first class area here. Not that you get a lot more space, but you get some. So what do we got here? Got forward area, galley, and do we have a bathroom? No bathroom, nobody gets to poop. That is unfortunate. Although it would have been nice if they at least said, you know, open or locked there. Okay, so detail's great in the back. That is a good start. I'll give them that. And yeah, the fact they included a cabin, which some developers don't, is worthwhile. Oh, hello. Rivet detail on the side of the fuselage there. That looks very well done. Okay. Now, I realise I'm taking a lot of time looking at all these various details and really playing with things, but even the liveries look great. The little bit of rain streaking there on the fuselage. That's nuances that I really appreciate. Okay, that's a little bit squared off, but is it the end of the world? Maybe. Who knows? But the liveries and texturing, modelling, very good. Okay, let's stop faffing around. Let's go inside and start this old girl up, shall we? Okay, so let's close all our hatches and doors here. Get ourselves watertight for C. You do get a flight attendant talking. Hopefully there'll be some way of controlling these announcements from the tablet as we get the window open here. Blinds don't appear to do anything there. It would be nice if we had the flight attendant calls on here with a volume slider. That would be great because they're very quiet and you can barely hear them, which is useful because they're automated. You can't control it, but they work. We have armrests that function. Okay. And I have been reliably informed the jump seat also functions. Where did they hide you? Okay, here. The seat can jump. Oh, hang on. Ugh. Crinkle, crinkle, little star. How you got past QA, I'm not sure. I mean, I assume it's fabric attached here and just flops down there, but that is jagged as all heck. No, sir. Do not like that. Can we open the cabin door? We could... Oh, we can. I think. I can click it. I can't do anything with it, but it clicks. It has a click spot. It maybe doesn't work yet. Okay. Back in the pilot seat. Okay, start procedures. So let's go through this now. We've got 7 liveries. I will mention that now. All come with the aircraft, of course. So you'll have seen those in the video so far. And let me go to my checklist and startup. So, flight deck equipment and maintenance status all checked. So let's go up here to the overhead panel. GPU would be... GPU. We'll go for GPU generator. Start the APU. APU gen is on. Batteries 1 and 2 are set to off. Fuel pumps are set to auto. Which will be here. Both auto. Emergency lights to off. Windshield wipers are off. Hydraulic systems 1, 2, and 3B are set to auto. 3A is off. Okay, that would be here. Off, auto, auto, auto. Check. Landing gear is down. Confirm. Power plant start, stop 1 and 2 are in stop. Okay. Let me quickly check that. Elevator disconnect. Wait, did I just unlock the door? Yeah, that's neat, actually. I'll give them that. Not only does the cockpit door open, but the actual locking system works. And it gives you an indication that it's unlocked. That is legitimately badass. Notice how the little is green and red there. Oh my god, we could do it as... Dude. Neat little feature. See, this is giving me vibes that there's a lot they're going to want to do with this to make it realistic, and that's kind of cool. More so than just because they can. Like, it's not like they just want to pump out something, give it to you cheap, and say, here's a great feature, have this. No, these seem to genuinely be features of real interest in the aircraft, which gives me positive vibes that this will be something they will put some effort into. May not be finished yet, but this does give me hope that there's going to be something with this. Okay, back to our start procedure. So our views are fairly generic. Some of them more useful than others, but we want to go back up here. Okay. Right, let's get that centered for us. Speed brake levers closed. Thrust levers idle. Batteries 1 and 2 now auto to on. And we want to have flat lever is surface position, which is up currently. Fire extinguisher panel is checked. We did that a minute ago. Got the... Okay, good. Doesn't work yet. Probably will. These don't work yet. Probably will. Fire extinguisher bottles. Okay, so that is electrical power air conditioning is established. It's all working. We can hear it. Okay, before start checks, pre-flight checks complete, fuel quantity checked, MCDU is set. This is all, that's stock, by the way. The MCDU down here, this is all, this is not custom yet. They're working on that apparently. This is not done yet. So this is all stock stuff, kind of relevant. You all know how it works. It's the basics you can use to do a flight. Won't handle a curved approach, can do straight though. So don't expect the world from that. And the autopilot systems are also basically stock. And apparently have trouble following an ILS or lag catching onto one, so use that as you choose to. That's, again, things that don't work, but things that apparently are planned to work. Now, I think this is where a difference lies between early access and features they want to bring. Basic features you would think would be included in the aircraft are not here. So this is a true early access. We're getting essentially a stock sim aircraft at this point with the exterior and everything else. Hey, at least it's got a cockpit, right, folks? At least it's not just an exterior model. Okay, passenger signs on. Let's do those. Where's my passenger signs? They're here. Seatbelts, no smoking, and we want to make everyone sterile. That seems dangerous. Instruments set. Altimeter set. Seatbelts, takeoff performance, auto brakes to RTO. I'll be down here. Okay, let's get back up there. Beacon transponder is on. Beacon is definitely on. Transponder's on already. Doors, windows closed. Trim is set. We did that already. Everything's looking good. We need to make sure emergency lights are set to armed now. So let's go for an engine start, shall we? Just for expedience sake, we'll start them both together. We'll let it cycle through while we look at the PFD. So we've got our PFD there, we've got our MFDs. This I quite like because it's following the same pattern as the Embraer ones in real life. Obviously, there's features that do not work right now. Apparently, these are things they want to do. It's very much a, this is what it'll look like. But you have at least got your basics of the sim that it supports to work with here. It's nothing great, but it will do. Look at system, go to flight control. Go to hydraulics, fuel, electrical, ECS, anti-ice, engine maintenance, and we've got system configs. So it's pretty reasonable. I'll give them that. So are these engines starting up already? Are we starting the engines? Did we try that? Do you want to start? I don't know what I've done wrong, because I did this a minute ago when I tested. I followed the checklist to the letter, and it started perfectly. So, it's the YouTube bug of the second I try and record something, it decides it doesn't want to do it, does it? These systems all look good. Our pumps are all set correctly. Engine pump shutoffs, that's not a problem. Everything here is exactly as it should be. That is on. Electrical powers, these are looking good. These are automatic. So this should be a simple matter of hit start to win. Because our fuel is on. Are we planning to go? I love this. This is the one thing where everything should be correct. Although I guarantee someone's yelling at me for something. And why aren't we drawing from the power here? Because I could have sworn we had the APU on. Now we have the APU on. We're going to start to get an engine start here. Turns out the APU hadn't started, but now has. And we're seeing movement on the engines. Okay. Okay, that's coming to life. Give this one a kick as well. This is my second time playing with the aircraft, so excuse some snafus as we come online. Possibly. Yeah, they're both coming alive now. Fantastic. Okay, so we should be ready to get going here in a second. Now, it has, of course, I mentioned, use all the liveries. We have American Airlines, United, Alaskan, KLM, LOT, Fuji, and FSS's house livery. Bleed APU, open end, batteries discharging. They shouldn't be, because generators are on. These will come up. Now, it says it has correct way to balance behavior with flight dynamics, performance and limits to real-world data, configured by real-world airline pilot. What that pilot flies, we don't know. We have custom sounds, but I can tell you now, quite quiet. I mean, I'd hope that based on real-world recordings and including several warning alert sounds, they'd be kind of necessary for a flight sim aircraft. Okay. We are coming up and engines are on now, and my batteries are listing as discharging. Let's pull that out, pull the APU generator out. Let's stop the APU. Nope, these are good. Why my batteries are discharging, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Without further ado, let's take this thing for a flight. I want to see how she behaves. Go away cautions, nobody cares. Okay, so as you can probably tell, we're at Unalaska here, because the opportunity to fly in Alaska just can't escape me. So I want to play with that. Not got a lot of ramp to work with here. This is very much a small little area, as you saw from the exterior images. Does a tiller work, I wonder? It does. Oh yeah, no, the tiller functions. It is very much attached to your rudder pedals, so that does that way. Yes, I'm aware. My flaps are set now. Oh, no, they're not, because they're a lever. There we go. Take off flaps are set. We'll get ourselves here. We'll do it once around the island. We'll see how she flies, and we'll bring her back in. This is not meant to be a flight review. I'm not an I'm not an Embraer pilot, so I can't really tell you. I'm not much of a jet pilot, but I like to think I can give a critical opinion when it comes down to a simulator product, and it's not bad, but it's not great either. This is definitely no grand achievement. It's not finished, and granted, I believe I will have to save all of my true opinion for when it's finished. Now, the problem here is, the critical issue in this early access model is FOMO, fear of missing out. Apparently the price will rise with every update as more features get added. So you're already paying $40 right now. Add on more money when you basically get more features. You're going to want to buy it now, even though it's not ready. Will you enjoy it as much? The cockpit looks great. The detailing and modelling is lovely. But it does feel like it's a little flat. You know, it just feels a little two-dimensional. Would be cool to have the option to go see your co-pilot sitting across from you in an airliner. Obviously, the tablet isn't fully functional yet. Will it be? I hope so. There are a lot of things they could do, and it will depend on if they try. So that's where the tricky part comes in. So powering up here. Brakes released. And we're moving. Airspeed's alive. We've got about 4,500 feet to play with here. Max takeoff weight just needs 7,500. We should be off the ground before too much longer. Passing 100. Ooh, it's got rickety sounds. And we lift easily away in the 4,500 feet we had here. Gear coming up. Modelling and animations look good. Let's pull those flaps up as well whilst we're at it. Feel those underneath me. There we go. We're going to try and bring this thing in on the carrier deck that is the Unalaska runway, so I'm going to have to circle around quite widely. Very nimble. Not sure if that's realistic to the ERJ, but you can whip this thing around a fair bit. Okay. Not great, not terrible. One of the cool things, by the way, I noticed with the tablet here is you can move it to in front of yourself, so if you want to have charts on there, you can actually see that very easily. That's a cool feature. Like the door lock, that's one of those nuanced little use case things that I think is quite important. because it will make using it far easier under certain circumstances and certain, methods. Okay, so we're over here. We need to circle around a lot further. Pull this power back. In fact, I'm going to drop our gear now. Let's see how it sounds from the inside. Keep the gear down. First notch of flaps. Speed's probably a tad high for this, but we'll work with it. So we'll move from RTO to auto brake high. We're going to need that. There's the airport around the corner from us, so we should be able to make a wide arcing turn to final here, following the line of the bay. Descending as we go. Let's grab a little bit of spoiler here. Help kill some of the speed. There she is. Okay, some more flaps. Where do I have it? A little bit of power here. Not got runway in sight yet. Should see it as we come around the corner here. This is going to be quite a tight approach in here with a very short stabilised final. But it's going to be useful to give me a decent indication. We've got a bit of a layer of cloud here that I need to try and keep my head below. I am positive it's just around the corner here. Ideal world, probably come down that valley over there and circle her in. But this is what we're working with right now. Is that where the airport is? Or is it over there? I could have sworn it's closer to us. Yes, 500, I get it. Thank you. Oh, this is so tight, this isn't even funny. Yes, there's the runway, there's the apron. This is going to be interesting. Prepare for problems, I think. Full flaps. Spoilers coming out. Oh, this is some unairliner-like behaviour. Full spoilers, full flaps. There is no way this is going to work. Not on my life is this going to be a good idea. But I'm willing to make an attempt. I'm diving for this runway like I'm about to try and make a hole in it. No, this is go around town. Wow, where's my spoilers? Spoilers back in. Bring flaps up to... Well, it dives aggressively, I'll give it that. The engine sounds are incredibly quiet. It's hard to tell the difference between idle and full power. But I don't believe this aircraft should be able to dive like that at the runway. Like, this feels incredibly manoeuvrable. I don't know whether this is accurate to the Embraers. It might well be. But it feels like I'm flying a fighter jet more than I'm flying... And I believe the same thing was said in the FS Elite News article, that it feels like a fighter jet. I agree with that sentiment, yeah. It feels like I'm flying a bizjet or a fighter, perhaps. Oh, God, we got to roll back on one. Okay. Roll back on two, sorry. Repeat start on the engine there. Let's turn away from the bad engine. We've still got flaps deployed, that's fine. That's terrain. Is the engine starting? Not sure why that flamed on me. We have fuel. and we have the runway there. So behind this peak, we'll circle back and we'll come in for a longer, straighter approach, and should make this easier. We have full power again. Okay. Interesting. Not sure why I flamed out an engine there, but it does feel incredibly nimble. That is definitely something that doesn't feel quite as right. I mean, this is my pitch control. In an airliner, I can make it do that. That feels dramatic, if you will. The roll rate definitely feels way too good. But it isn't big, is it? It's a relatively compact airliner. So it's plausible. Maybe I'm wrong. I can hear the tone of the engine shifting more in pitch, but the volume doesn't really change in level. You'd think it would be more when it's at full chat. The wind seems louder than the engines. Coming around here. Playing around Unalaska is quite fun because it makes for an interesting jet playground, or any aircraft really, but gorgeous scenery and a tricky approach. There's my runway. Okay, 140 knots, this is better. Okay. Probably would come in from the other side, to be brutally honest. This side is a lot more aggressive. But we're trying this out. We're doing this on purpose to see how she behaves. That's the goal here. Full flaps are selected. Spoilers are currently retracted. There's the runway. Powering back to idle. It's very pitch sensitive at low thrust. I'll give it that. Very pitch sensitive at low thrust. See, I've just got the spoilers full and it's really not slowing down that much. Very little impact. I'm leaving those spoilers fully out. And we're slowing down marginally, but not a ton. This might be another rejected landing again. We are significantly slower than we were. 130 knots feels fast. Well, it is fast. I was hoping I'd get a lot more bite from these spoilers and the flaps. We'd have to try and stick this on the runway and make it stay. That's going to be our goal here. Is put it down as quickly and firmly and politely as possible. Okay, let's encourage her down, shall we? Reverse thrust. Okay, okay. To idle power. Alright. That wasn't bad at all, but this is a 4,500 foot runway. 2,000 feet feels short, even by that standard. Let's get it turned around here. Yes, I know no takeoff flaps configuration. I'm powering up to try and turn around. There we go. Not usually an issue when you have a runway for a jet, but Unalaska's not exactly every airport. It's one turn off and it's for the apron. But these jets do come in here. I've literally seen these things at Unalaska Airport. They come in here. So it's realistic to see this. Now, the flight dynamics do feel quite dramatic. Again, this could be realistic, it might not be, but it feels very, very fightery. It's responsive, it's quick, it lands incredibly quickly. Given that I touched down kind of late here and only used half the runway, that feels super, super short. Kind of in high braking and full reverse, so we were pushing as much as we could out the aircraft. There we go. We'll pull around into the parking spot again. Where's the crew? Okay, not waiting for us. They don't like us this time. See, I opened the window and I got screaming jets outside, and not a ton of difference. Not really. So what do we think? Is this aircraft worth buying into for the early access? Maybe. If you like it. If these flight dynamics feel strange or appear strange to you. Maybe not. If you're willing to go for the idea of an early access, which I don't have an issue with coming from gaming, but as long as they follow through. That's the kicker. If you're going to spend this much money on something, it had better follow through. And paying 40-ish pounds, $47 with taxes for an add-on, given what we can get for that price, this should already be a lot further along than it is. I will praise them on the modelling. I'll praise them on a lot of the functions and features and neat tricks. I will reserve a final score on this aircraft until we actually see a product that's complete to what they consider as the goal. Guys, don't disappoint me. This has great potential, but it also has potential to fail. Choose wisely. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.